Hey guys, got 2014 Scion XB. Doing a rear bearing and brakes here. Going to try and walk you through the whole process. Hopefully we won't have too many issues. I'm going to take you all the way through. No cuts, no edits. And we're just going to see what happens. Alright? I'm at Jed's garage. Traffic is loud. That tire fell off really nice, so that's not stuck. This is a new one. These clients just have replaced, so I didn't expect to have a whole lot of trouble with it. And thankfully I was correct. This being a Toyota product, so Japanese cars go with Japanese bearings, European cars, European bearings, American cars, American bearings. Pretty much standard quo, or status quo. That's what you want to do, is make sure that the bearings came from the same country the car did. The quality is going to be better. They're going to last longer. So again, we're going with genuine Toyota Lexus bearings. Made in Japan. They do cost more money, but it is well worth it. You know, you want to get Timken, TRW bearings are another good one for American cars. But yeah, if you can get a manufacturer's bearing, that's probably the best option. So here's a new one, all shiny and new. You know, it's a Asian Bearing is the brand, and it's spelled A-Z-A-I-N, A-I-S-I-N, sorry. But that's the factory brand that Toyota makes, that spelling right there, and that is your part number. And this vehicle has lots of 14 millimeters and 17 millimeters, so start getting the caliper loose. One with a 14 millimeter bolt. Let's get that second bolt out of there. Two bolts for the caliper. Don't want to lose them. You need the caliper to stop. Okay. So you want it to stay on the car. Alright, so got those loose. Let's go ahead and get this caliper loose. A couple of hooks. You don't want pressure on the brake line. I mean, brake lines are pretty tough. Everybody says, oh, they're going to break if you get any pressure on them. I've seen a brake line hold 150 or so pounds. That doesn't mean you want to do that kind of thing. So just be aware of that. Trying to link it up here.
That's amazing.
There.
All right, Ken. I'll see you next week. Oh, he's on the other side now.
Other side.
Do those hubs pull off pretty easy?
Nope. Nope.
Are they easier than a Subaru hub?
Yes. They are a full assembly at least.
You know, I've changed the front ones pins out on mine. It took me all day to get that thing off. And I'm telling you what, there was a lot of words.
Yep. Alright, so now we're taking the caliper bracket off, and that's going to have the pads in it, any spring clips that hold the pads on. You want to make sure all those are in there. This way you don't want your pads, they're called anti-rattle clips for a reason. They keep your pads from rattling around. They give you a better even wear. So two of those. This is your caliper bracket. This is what your caliper holds onto, bolts onto, hence the word caliper bracket. Old pads, that one's not too bad. That was the inner pad. Outer pad. Outer pad, you're getting some uneven wear. So the top over here, very thick on that side, very thin on that side, and if you look at it, you're getting really uneven wear, really on both pads. So the pad's squeezing. So when I get it back together, I just want to make sure that these pins are moving nice right here. As long as those pins move in and out and they stay pretty well lubricated, those calipers shouldn't hang up, and we should be able to get some good brake wear out of this from here on forward. Take a screwdriver, pop these old things out, these old clips. Brake pads come with new ones. And you want to always use your new ones. Get this rotor out of here. Got to hit it, get all that dust out of there. So we've got pretty worn out rotor here. It hasn't been getting the entire pad contact. So you can see how big the pad is, and you can see the part of the pad right here that hasn't been touching the rotor. So you can see how that wear matches, and that's not good. That's causing all kinds of issues. Overheated bearings, excessive brake wear. Just everything wears out quicker. Things aren't aligned. Nothing the driver did, just the circumstance of the car. Something happened, caused some misalignment, some uneven wear, and that's where it went. So that's why we're here today. We're here to fix that problem. So yeah, so before I go back with the hub, start pulling the bearing out, I want to go ahead and get this brake caliper reset. So this little part has to be spun and have pressure on it at the same time as you push it back in. So it's one of those weird things. We're gonna see if I can somehow show you the process. I got a tool that I got to slip in there, and has 4 little dots that coincide with the 4 little spaces up here. And then we have this tool just kind of slide that up here, make sure those 4 pins end up lining up in the holes there. Once you get that, you want to rock this back. And what that's going to do, that's going to press that plate against the caliper. And get a wrench on here. I hold this in place, and then I'm able to, let me see, I want you to watch right in here, this little rubber boot. We spin that, course, the tool's not going to work right now. So, hey, let's see what we can do here. Switch it, and we'll go the other way. These things have, the set comes with two of these little clamp things, and one spins right, one spins left, and there we go. Cars just, each car does it just a little bit differently. So now you can see that part up there kind of spinning in, and that bushing compressing as I do this. As I spin this in, that bushing starts to compress. And as we can keep this tight, get that bushing all the way in, or sorry, not a bushing, a boot. It is the piston boot, the rubber boot. And as you can see, that goes right in pretty easy with the proper tool. If you tried to do this without this tool, you'd probably spend 3 or 4 hours trying to get that back pressed in proper. And just loosen that. And as you can see, that is all the way back in there now. It's not sticking out. We can now put the new pads back on there. So that was just, wanted to get that part done before continuing. So there we go. Getting these caliper bolts out, or the bearing bolts. Get the bearing bolts out. That's what we'll do. Already done the other side. The other side, the bearing wasn't playing very nice. And we're gonna hopefully this side will be a little bit easier. We got 14 millimeters. Hold the bearing on. Huh? Did you cross yourself? No. Never use one of these on one of these. That's what Jed said. Do as Jed says, not as Jed does. It all worked out. Now, this little bugger. Now the hard part. Liquid incentive, we call that. not seem like it, but this one's already easier than the other side. Ear protection. Somebody take this video and make a cut like into one of them really neat songs like y'all do with the noises. Yeah, you guys need hearing protection. Almost there. Get to the end. Kind of want to take it easy. I have to make sure I don't snap or cut the ABS sensor cable. I don't want to get too over ambitious here. If this bearing comes flying out of a socket, I want a really good chance bearing pops out of the socket, I got a good chance of ripping that cable out, and I don't want to do that. It's just fucking.
Oh no, they built it. I don't know. They've been there 12 years. It is so adorable. He's a master.
All right.
I know we built one. We're under 10 grand.
Bearing's starting to move, so I'm just going to wiggle it. There we go. Bearing. You got the dust shield from the brake. And back here, that little bugger right there in the middle, you got to pull a little pin out and it'll slide right out. So I'm going to try to show you that from afar. There you go. Just kind of like get this little pick in there. I said I would try to show you. There we go. That's up. Get that little thing up in there, and that just slides right out. I need that for the next bearing. And keep our dust cover. Old bearing. New bearing. Pretty much the same, just one's rusty, one's not. This bearing, again, wasn't moving very good. This one, you can at least get a little bit of spin. plug this back in, and when you plug it in, make sure you put the dust cover back on first. Do as Johnny says, not as Johnny does. Do what Jed says, not what he does. Dust cover's back on. There are 4 holes in the dust cover that line up with the 4 holes on the bearing. Makes everything really easy to line up, so the bearing just has to get back into that same hole. Come over here. Grab our little socket. We got these 3 neat little holes here that in the bearing surface, the wheel mounting surface, that allow you to just kind of get a socket in through them. Got one lined up. And just spin this until that hole lines up. And get the other one in. And, oops, one more time, never use one of these on one of these. Get in there. We snug them all up first before putting any real power to them. Take the extension off so we get a little bit of torque. Goes. There's a bearing installed, so new clips. Boring part. Yes, I know that rotor's on backwards. There is a purpose. Emotional support spray. Get all this grease off the surface of the rotor. Those of you wondering, it's an 85 millimeter rotor. I'll run a lug nut on to hold this brake rotor in place for me. I'm tightening this up. I don't want it to fall off. Back here. Our second bracket bolt lined up. Top one up here. Again, those are both 14 millimeter. You see how things wiggle around up there. That's why you want to keep a lug nut on that rotor. Slugged up. Here, get some leverage. Slug it just a little bit. Caliper came undone, but there's a stout e-brake cable holding it on. I'm okay with that. And install the new brake pads. So here's the difference. You can see. You see how uneven they were wearing. Again, nothing that the driver did, it's just something in the brake system causing uneven wear or pedal pulsation. This caliper back on. Set up right. 2 caliper bolts going back in. Also 14 millimeters. So if you have a 14, a 17, and a 19, aside from lug nuts, you can work on everything on a Toyota pretty much. Little extra clearance, got something in the way there. Caliper bracket, caliper, new pads, new bearing, new rotor. That